Well, that was some trailer, wasn't it? Hey everyone, Ronan here, and welcome back to the channel. And I figured that I would give you guys an update on what I got planned for 2024, seeing how I didn't really drop anything towards the end of the year. Before we get into that, there's a couple of things that I want to talk to you guys about, and there's some things that you're going to get revealed in this segment. So make sure you watch the whole way through because there's going to be surprises throughout the whole thing. But that'll be a little bit later. First things first, if you guys are seeing that first trailer for the first time, I hope you enjoyed it because eventually at some point that is going to become a reality sometime in this year. And a lot of you guys may be asking, why am I skipping Hoenn altogether? Well, that's because Ash is technically a champion in this universe. And well, the next progression for a champion would be something that's stronger than a league. So what better to take on than a basic league that's full of nothing but Elite 4 level and higher trainers. So that's going to be where Ash heads to next. But I promise you, the Battle Frontier that we had in the original canon and the Battle Frontier I'm going to be bringing is going to be completely different. But you'll have to wait to see for that. For now, I just want to take a time to talk about a couple of things in this first part of the video, and the big thing that I want to talk about is what happened in the year of 2023. I'm just going to flash some numbers on the screen right here for the analytics for the entire year, and as you guys can see, they're not as positive as they were to the prior year. And that's partly because of my own doing. I spent so much time trying to prolong projects and let them draw out as long as possible that I didn't really finish them. And because it took so long to finish them, I didn't get anything new getting into the channel. It was only one new project, which last year, the big project of the year was What If Ash won the Pokemon World Championship, which now we're heading into 2024, and well, it's not even close to being halfway done yet. So in mid-2023, I made the decision to start trying to finish off a couple of the projects that I had laying around for a prolonged period of time. Some of them were almost 2 years or over 2 years old at that point. So I did that, and while I'm happy with a couple of them and the way they turned out, I realized that in one of them specifically, I may have dropped the ball a little bit in the final battle between Ash and a certain one of his rivals. I see your guys' comments, and I fully admit that. So maybe I'll give you a whole 6-on-6 battle at some point to flush that out so that way you guys can, get a chance to see how that really turned out. But that'll be for a later time. But ultimately, what I realized is I'm taking too long to finish scenarios, and it's partly because I started so many at once when I first started YouTube. I never got the chance to fully complete them, and then I ended up having to put stuff on hold, and then things got pushed off because I got excited about a new project and so on and so forth. So with that being said, I'm gonna move into 2024 with a more single mindset, if you will. I want the channel to be focused on less scenarios, but with more frequency in certain ones. So that way they can be closed out a little bit sooner. That way you guys don't have to wait as long to get completions done. Well, that for me kind of makes things a little bit boring because if I don't have something to change up every week or so, I kind of get stagnated with the thought process on them, but I'm going to do my best to try and break them up the best I can. But I do want to curb the syndrome of having too many things on the channel at once. So the main focus for the current projects, What If Ash won the Pokemon World Championship and What If Brock took the Gym Challenge, those are going to be the primary focus to finish out. Brock taking the Gym Challenge will be done by the end of January, and then I'm going to be working to pump out 2 to 3 parts of What If Ash won the Pokemon World Championship, my version of a Pokemon Journeys rewrite, each month, so that way I can wrap them up and get that scenario done. I would like to try and have it done by the beginning or the end of summer, so that way it'll just be over a year and a half old by the time it's completed. But it's got a lot of moving parts because that project is very visual heavy on my end with trying to find things and trying to make things as dynamic as possible, especially with the storytelling and the script writing. Each script usually goes through a second, sometimes a third rewrite to make sure I'm happy with the project. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm rambling now. But we're about the halfway point in the video. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys another trailer for something that I'm going to be bringing, because we're about to return to a sequel with our favorite terrible trio, something you guys have been asking for a long time now. Okay. I know that some of you guys may not be the biggest fan of that scenario because I've come to realize that a lot of the videos don't do well unless Ash is in the title, and I know that may not be something you're interested in, but please just give it a chance, watch a couple episodes, because the first season of What If Jesse and James Took the Gym Challenge versus to what I'm going to be able to do now is going to be completely different. The reason for it is because I'm a far better writer, far better editor, and I'm just overall better at the YouTube game, thumbnails, and everything, presentation. So give it a chance. Let me try to wow you with their adventures in what I would think it would look like if they actually challenged Cinelli. That is going to have to wait for a little bit later in the year as well. Now, just keep in mind that the trailers that I'm dropping today are not going to be in the order that they're released. It's just what I have in mind and things that I kind of wanted to make sure you guys got an idea of what I'm going to be doing. So I'll drop more information on that when it comes closer to their release schedule. However, when it comes to the channel itself, after reflecting a lot in the past 2 to 3 months about what's been going on in the last year and all of the collaboration projects I've done with Plus Ultraman, Pickled Dill, and stuff like that, I've come to realize that it's time for the channel to hit its next mark in changes and to evolve, if you will. You see, I feel like things have kind of become stagnant. I spent a lot of time focusing on growing my Patreon and growing my YouTube channel members. Shout out to you guys. Thank you very much for the support, and I'm going to continue to do that. But I also need to get back in track with trying to make sure that the channel does not continue to stagnate and it stays fresh. So I'm going to be working on behind the scenes over the next 2 months to change things up, and it's going to be a slow process because I'm still working on getting some things created for it, mostly just artwork and particular things, but that's going to lead me into what I'm going to talk about next, or not necessarily talk about, merely just show you right here, because this right here is going to give you an idea of where the channel is going to be headed. Now, that's where I'm going to leave it for right now until I actually have more things that I can show you guys. Now, with all that out of the way, there is one real thing that I need to address with you guys. Burnout is a real thing on YouTube, especially when it's not your primary source of income. It's not what you do all the time. I spend a lot of time throughout the week, days, nights, getting things recorded off to an editor or putting visuals together, writing scripts, basically any free time. The month of November and December, just trying to get enough videos up to where we could do 3 a week was very taxing on me. And just like last year, I'm gonna want to take a step back from YouTube from a month or so, maybe 2 months. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be producing content. That's the exact opposite. I just don't want to have such a restrictive schedule, so that way I can have a little bit more free time and just kind of unwind a little bit, because at this current time it's go with any free time that I have, and making sure I'm planning out each day meticulously so that way I can maximize the amount of time that I can put into family, personal things, my actual job, and then this. And I just need a little bit of a break to unwind so that way I can curb the burnout. Now, how am I going to do that while keeping the channel relevant and not allowing it to stagnate? Well, I've been thinking about a couple of options, and I think it's time to implore some of the things that I've been setting up over the past year of 2023. The reason why I started doing Patreon and YouTube channel member exclusive content was because I wanted to start creating a backlog for things for me in the future, for when times like this actually happen. And all of you guys keep asking, when am I going to put the What If I Wrote the Pokemon Anime on actual YouTube, and What If Ash Won the Hoenn League? Now, those are Patreon and channel member exclusive content, but in order to give new content to the actual channel for you guys, I'm gonna release a couple of parts up front, something to help give me a little bit of cushion so that way I can work on things in the background and not be stressed out about deadlines. Now, I'm gonna release the first 2 to 3 parts of each one within the next couple of weeks once I get past my current obligations with What If Brock Took the Gym Challenge, because I want to make sure that story is completely out of the way before I start putting those out. I'm going to be going back down to 1 video a week for a while, so that way things aren't as flustered. January and February are usually slow for ad revenue on YouTube, so that's going to be a good time to unwind and get back on track with things. Now that I've gotten that all out of the way, there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to make this very quick. I've been putting it off for as long as possible, but the first script is finally done. I am currently in the process of getting all the lines worked out with the people that I'm working with to voice certain parts. Now I'm going to unveil to you what I've been working on for the past year and a half for what is effectively my 10K project. I hope you enjoy.